Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 490. We up to Joe Kidd from 1972. This is season 2, all about westerns, baby. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Joining us on this episode again is our intern, Scott Eastwood. What's up, Scott?
How y'all doing?
All right, Scott, we're going to go with you first. When was the first time you watched this film, and what was your initial reaction to it when you first saw it?
Oh, God. I probably saw this when I was a kid on AMC, so probably sometime in my youth that I can't tell you what age I was or what I thought. All I know is I liked Westerns and I like Bang Bang, so, it probably fit my criteria when I was a kid.
Okay. Nate, this is a first-time watch for you, right? Joe Kidd?
No.
Or have you seen this before?
I saw it. So I bought it back when I used to just blind buy everything a couple years ago. I bought it. Kino Lorber put out a Blu-ray for it, and I bought it, and I watched it. So maybe like 2020, 2021-ish, I think around that time. And I remember thinking it was pretty good. I will say, if it's means anything, I don't own this movie anymore. But I remember at the time thinking, it's pretty good.
Oh, okay. My first time watching this movie was on Prime Video. And I was like, what the hell is this? So I just clicked on it and I watched it. And I was like, not bad. Not bad of a film.
That was like me.
Yeah, this is my second time watching Joe Kidd.
Now, I did want to say, this is directed by John Sturges, who has done a bunch of very famous movies and Western movies. Mm-hmm. And the music, like Lalo Schifrin or whatever, the person who did the theme for Mission Impossible, that I believe he's the one that created the theme for Mission Impossible. Mm-hmm. And he did the score for this movie. Because I saw the name, I was like, that name looks familiar. And when I looked it up, it's the Mission Impossible guy. So that was kind of cool that this does have like some very famous people who created it, right? Music, direction, and things like that. So it's kind of weird that I had never heard of it until a couple years ago.
Yeah, so when it comes to box office, this movie was budgeted at $2.5 million. Really high. It's a high budget, but it only grossed $6.3 million. Now, while back then, I don't know how back then movie was, like in terms of success or not, but this to me looked like a success film. It made the budget back. I think it was successful. So I don't know what you guys think. Would a budget of 2.5 mean 6.3? What do you think, Scott?
I mean, I think it made back its money. So, and then you got to account for like inflation and what that stuff was back then. So I think like a minor hit is how I would describe it.
Okay. Nate, what you got?
Yes, it's got to be success. I mean, if you had a budget of 2, and technically it made 3 times what it cost. And of course, back then was different too. Like marketing is not, they weren't spending $50 million on marketing in they probably had like a billboard and then the movie came out and people were like, oh, Clint Eastwood, I know that guy. And then they just go see a movie. So yeah, I would say a success, maybe not like the biggest hit ever, but not a flop or anything, even by those means.
All right. Well, with that said, let's get right into the Rotten Tomato scores. All right. And let's see what they think.
These are very weird. I'm not going to lie. Very weird. When I looked this up after watching the movie, I said, this is weird. I don't understand these scores. So this has an 80% critic score, which is fine. That's not the one I think is weird. 80% critic score. However, the audience score is a 54%. Now, I'm not saying it's weird because people disliked it. I think it's just weird how big the gap is between the critics and the audiences on this movie. Yeah. Like, Alex and I have done movies where maybe they're critically acclaimed, but you could tell they were made for critics and like regular people are like, this is dumb. Westerns are, I feel like they were the regular person's movies. So for the audience score to be the 54 and the critics to be the 80, I think is bizarre, and I don't know if it means anything, but yeah, a big gap between the two.
It's a big gap. It's a very big gap. I mean, I'm very shocked with those numbers, especially you have a lot of big time actors in this movie. Interesting. But Scott, you shocked with these numbers?
Yeah, I think the numbers should be flip-flop, especially since this is like a Clint Eastwood movie. Like, not the modern, but like the average dude wants to go see it because it's Clint Eastwood just kicking butt. So,
well, with that said, let's get right into the review. Starting off with the lead character, Joe Kidd, played by Clint Eastwood. All right, Scott, take it away. You're first. What did you think of Clint Eastwood?
So I actually really liked his character way more in this movie than I did Fistful of Dollars. Not saying that I don't like him in Fistful of Dollars, but like he's like Clint Eastwood, but he's Loki at the same time at the beginning of the movie. He's in jail. He was out there just doing like whatever he wanted. He got in trouble. They tried to arrest him. He fought the sheriff and everything like that. He threatened to pee all over the courthouse. Like he was just out there doing whatever he wanted. And then his character makes a transformation when he finds out that one of his people up in the mountain gets all beaten up by that Louis Chama guy. Yeah, and then he comes back into town and he's all dressed up, ready to go kick some ass. And he's got a super serious face on. Also, one of my favorite parts of this entire movie is him picking on that dude Lamar. The guy that has the weird gun, and he hits him in the throat with the rifle, and he's like talking like this the entire time. When he comes back and he goes back to Robert Duvall's character to tell him he wants in, and he's walking up the stairs, the guy's like, "Where the hell you think you're going?" He just grabs him by the belt and throws him right down the stairs. I rewind that at least twice when I watch the movie and laugh hysterically. It's like my favorite part of the movie. I love him in this movie. He's a 5 for me.
Okay. All right, Neat, what you got?
Dang. Okay, well.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right. I had a feeling Scott was going to give him a 5. But you know what? Scott's name is Scott Eastwood. So I had a feeling. I see where he's coming from, though. I don't fully disagree. I gave him a 4. But I'll tell you why I gave him a 4. I think he's kind of funny, right? I would not call him an anti-hero like he is in Fistful of Dollars. He's just more like a grumpy guy who, ultimately decides to help who ultimately are the bad people, because the way the movie starts, you think that Louis Chama guy is the bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. But as it goes on, you discover it's actually this landowner played by Robert Duvall. And Joe Kidd's like, I don't want to help you. I don't want to do anything. I just want to go home. Like I'm in jail. He keeps saying he'll just serve his time rather than pay the $10 fine. So, I'll be in jail. And then he ultimately helps the bad guys, but then turns on the bad guys. So it's an interesting character. Also, I forgot. This was written by Elmore Leonard. Also who wrote a bunch of books and books that movies are based off of. So like a very well written like character. And I could see it feels like an Elmore Leonard character. My problem with it is, whereas when we were talking about Fistful of Dollars and I was like, this guy got aura coming out his ears, like and he barely talks. This, you'll probably disagree, but that's okay. This just felt like Dirty Harry in the West to me. Mm-hmm. It felt too similar to other Clint Eastwood roles that it didn't stick out to me as much as that movie did. He had more dialogue. He did more things. And yet I just felt like I have seen this guy. It's just the old West version of Dirty Harry to me. And I think Dirty Harry's a more interesting character. So I don't know. I felt kind of weird that's what made it not a 5 for me, but still funny, good lines. I agree. I like him with the other guy with the little gun that has a handle on it for some reason. That was funny. So yeah, I gave him a 4. I do think he's a very good character, but not a 5 for me. Felt too familiar.
Yeah, when it comes to Joe Kidd, I was a little like, I was waiting because I was like, okay, he's on the line of 4. Then I was waiting, and throughout the movie, I'm like, all right, was he gonna give me the 5? And I got the 5, and I gave him a 5. I like the character. I kind of see what you mean with the Dirty Harry similarities, but the problem is that every Clint Eastwood movie is Dirty Harry.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much why they casted him is the way he acts. But anyway, with this character, I like him. He gives no shits. Like, you don't know if he's a lawman. You know he's a gunslinger, mastermind, like really, really great mastermind, but he just gives no shits. Like, this dude does not give no shit. And I love the beginning when the guy eats the food. He goes, now you want some? And then he smacks him
the
with
beans
the
or whatever that crap
he
was.
Hits him. Yeah. And then he looks at the guy. He goes, you want some? And the guy was like, oh, no, senor. And he drops the can. But when he hits him, he's like, dunk. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was funny. I like when he grabs the judge. He goes, hey, how about you take him? He knows more about the law than this guy. I thought that was mad funny. And the judge is like, you think they're going to kill us? He goes, I don't know. Let's get out of here. And so, like, it's just some, like, the way he speaks while he is
it's funny. It's a funny movie.
It's a very funny movie. He's very, the crazy thing about Clint Eastwood is, like, he's very much macho man, right? I don't consider him a comedian guy, but he knows where to land the comedy and the way he speaks it. Because this movie's not it's not a comedy, but he has a lot of funny scenes, especially when he opens the hatch and the guy falls through. He's like, is he dead? He's like, I don't know. Is he dead, Padre?
He's like, I believe you.
He checks him. Yeah, he's dead. He's like, I believe you.
Yeah, like he doesn't. But you know what's funny about the guy with the little gun? Doesn't he look like the guy who played Gambit in Wolverine Origins?
Oh, John Carter? That's the guy who played John Carter.
John Carter. Yeah, right. He looked like his dad or something. Yeah, Taylor. He looks just like his dad.
Bob Kitsch.
Bob. But in terms of it, I think he doesn't scream charisma and ooze like Fistful of Dollars and The Man with No Name, because he's very mysterious. But I kind of like this. He's just a macho man, but just a normal dude. Like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm just gonna do what I do while he's helping people at the same time. Another character that he doesn't want to help, but he is at the wrong place at the wrong time type of character. Like Robert Duvall, like he's like, I'll give you $500 if you help me track. He goes, I said what I have to say. He leaves. And then he comes back. He's like, I'll give you $500. He goes, how about I make it 1,000? And then I was like, yeah, you make 1,000, which he didn't even get the money back though. No. But or when he screamed at the dude, what was it? Was it the sheriff when he was trying to come in? And he's like, Bob, I told you not to come in here with the shotgun. When
get out of here.
Yeah, he's like, get out of here. I was like, man, this dude is angry. So I liked him. I gave him a 5. I think Clint Eastwood is another character. While I do understand what you mean though, because from this point on, all these Clint Eastwood movies, you're gonna get the same character. It's not even. You're not gonna get nothing new. Nothing less. No, give me the history of a character. You're not getting none of that.
If that's the case, then prepare for 4s. Every time.
I'm telling you right now, Scott even knows. From here on in, you're getting except for in our list, except for The Unforgiven. That's the only one you're gonna get a backstory. Other than that, you're getting the same Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
in everything.
It's classic action tropes though. Like every action guy's like Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just the way he attacks the role is what you're gonna really judge at this point.
I'm okay with the I get it, like from the performance wise, he's gonna deliver the same. But like, hey, on paper, give me something. We'll see. You guys know.
I'm just telling you right now, from the list that we got, it's just the same dude. Copy paste in a different movie, different situation. Great. It's him with the cigar. He'll grab the cigar. He'll bloop. He'll rah. And I'm like, oh man. But anyway, it is what it is. I gave it a 5. Scott gave it a 5. You gave it a traditional 4.
It's still good. I don't know. It's very good, great. But not perfect.
Lead villains. Now this is interesting because it first started as Luis Chama as John Sachs. Right?
John Saxon, baby, playing Mexican. Yep. Love it.
And then it goes right into your boy, Richard Duvall.
Yeah, he plays a character named something Harlan. Frank Harlan.
Frank, yeah. So what you got there, Nate? What are you giving
the
main villains?
Well, I love Luis Chama. I'm not going to lie. I loved his intro scene. Comes in the courthouse. The dude... Okay, John Saxon, not Mexican, but that's okay. You know, different time, right? Different time. He's talking with the Spanish accent. And I was laughing. I said, hey, that's freaking Nancy's dad from Nightmare on Elm Street. He's Mexican. So anyway, I loved him though. I was like, yes, this guy's coming in. I love that part where he's like, you know, we gave you some land. You keep taking more. We tried to work with you. You kept taking more. And then you burned up all our papers in a fire. And he burns their papers. I'm like, this villain about to be fantastic. Because you're kind of like on his side, right? Anytime a villain can get you to be like, you know what? I kind of agree with that. I think it's good. The problem is that they switch it and you actually like him. He's like a revolutionary figure rather than like a true villain. And what do we get? One of the greatest actors of all time. Don't get me wrong. Robert Duvall, one of the best. But we get a landowner rich guy who hates Mexicans. That's pretty much what we end up with. Is he a good, rich landowner white guy who hates Mexicans? Yes, I would say yes. I think he is. He's kind of ruthless. He's brutal. He's willing to shoot people. He don't care. He's like, if Luis Chama don't come out in the morning, I'm going to shoot 5 people. And at noon, we're going to shoot 5 more. And at night, and I'm like, damn, this guy's about to shoot everybody. And he don't care. And so, yes, ruthless, also shoots all those people like he wants information from and just murders them. And that's when Clint Eastwood, Joe Kidd kind of is like, I don't know if I want to work with this guy actually because he's crazy. So evil, but more generic than Luis Chama. I think Chama would have been a great, like a 5 out of 5 villain for me. And what we get ultimately is a 4 out of 5. Again, I gave him a 4. I do think he's a good villain, but I think less interesting than the other guy. He's just rich, hates Mexicans, wants to kill them. There's not much there other than the other guy who's like almost fighting for what he views as justice, which is more interesting to me. So I gave him a 4.
All right. What you got, Scott?
Nate might be surprised on this one. I gave him a 3.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Luis Chama, he was good, but obviously ultimately he's not the main villain. Robert Duvall, I feel like he was underutilized. He's serviceable, but underutilized. You have an actor like that, you turn him into somebody that's pretty much nothing without his henchmen dudes. The guy with the sniper rifle, the guy with the weird gun, I don't know, the other weird dudes that he's riding with. And
the guy who can speak Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he's nothing without his hired guns. At the end of the movie, he's walking around town with his rifle, and all Joe Kidd does is outsmart him and then turn around in the judge's chair and blow his brains out. Like that's, he didn't, without his henchmen, he wouldn't have done very much damage at all. So I gave him a 3. He's serviceable, good. I like his brutality, but ultimately he's not the best.
I gave it a 3. Robert Duvall's character. So I agree with Nate in terms of Luis Chama. I would have liked him way better. I always liked the posses, like the bad guy with the pot. Like he's really badass, and then he got like 10 other dudes around him.
Yeah.
But I agree. Robert Duvall's character was really striking for me because he started off like a good guy, right? He's like, oh, we're going to get these bad guys and, I'll give you money. And he wants the whole second floor. He's showing off his money and he's using his power within the town. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then when it does the flip, I'm like, bro, like, really? Like, even Joe Kidd saw it. And I'm like, you're mad. Like Scott said it. Like, you're weak. Like, he doesn't do nothing to intimidate nobody. It's just money power, really. And the other henchmen were whack. Like, they were whack. Like, and that's what got me mad, right? You got the guy with the weird gun talking mad smack, and he dies dumb.
He dies the worst death in the whole movie. The
worst death out of all of them. And I'm like, that sucks. Then you got the other Spanish guy. You don't even know. He gets shot up or something. I don't even remember him getting killed. Then you got Robert Duvall who gets shot by Joe Kidd, which you're like, okay, great. Then you have the scene of my man snipes the dude from like 20,000 feet. I mean, I don't even know how many yards that was. And they're sniping each other left and right. And Joe Kidd is like more marksman than the other guy, which I was just like, okay. Like, I don't know. I felt like the henchman's deaths were so garbage. Robert Duvall's character, great, but it was like, I feel like the story did not know who was the right villain. If they had a right villain, it would have been a good adversary for Joe Kidd. But we didn't, because I always thought it was John Saxon until we were rewatching it. I'm like, oh, damn, it was really Robert Duvall's character. And I was like, oh, that kind of whack. Like, like to me, I felt like he was whack. He wasn't intimidating at all. Like, I was just like, not fun. He reminded me of like we did so many villains in the podcast, but he just reminds me of like just those typical rich bastards that have like 20,000 people that don't like, go get him, he's right over there. Or like the dude from John Wick 2. Remember Sorrentino? That he's going through the museum and he's like, he's just right over there. And John Wick is just killing everyone that's mowing them down the more they keep coming.
That's a good comp.
Yeah, it's just like Sorrentino. Then he runs into the Continental and then he makes fun of John Wick because he goes, you can't kill me here. And then John Wick splashes his brains in front of everybody. And that's what Robert Duvall was. The only difference is that Robert Duvall was shooting people through the windows and he was trying to hit the guy, but
he kills that guy in the mountains, the one that they're getting the information from. He shoots him.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wanted to see if you're gonna give a villain like Robert Duvall's character that tough guy thing, you should have had him execute 5 people like he said was gonna do. And then we know it was meant business, but they didn't give it to me. So I was like, that's why I gave it a 3. I was like, you didn't give me the brutality. Because there's gonna be villains on this list that you're gonna be like, oh my God. You're gonna be like, oh, this dude is a bastard. But yeah, we gave it a 3. Scott gave it a 3. Nate gave it a 4. I'm very shocked he gave it the 4. But let's get to the one that I really want to see
God.
what people give it. Action sequences. Scott, what you got?
Okay, action sequences. This movie is a bang bang Western. That's all it is. There's shooting. There's not much else that happens in this movie. There's nothing really creative with the shooting. And it's not very impactful. Everybody gets shot. Nobody, well, I mean, the only people that get killed in a different sort of way are some of the henchmen. Like, literally, that Lamar guy, he sweeps his legs out from under him by taking the floor away.
The floor, he just walks in the hole.
Right through it. He didn't have a chance.
I like that guy who gets hit in the head with the bucket of water.
Oh, yeah. He knocked that dude out. But, I mean, so it's like, it's a 3.5 for me. I guess what pushed it to a 0.5 higher is the dude drives a train straight through everything and then gets out and goes blam, 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 starts killing everybody. But other than that, it's just a typical bang bang Western. Like nothing too impactful, just your basic Western action. So 3.5 for like a good on action for me.
Oh, 3.5. All right, Nate, what you got?
You're slightly higher than me, just slightly. So I agree with Scott, except I was at a 2 for most of the movie. I was like, you know what? This is, and it's fine. It doesn't necessarily hurt the movie, but as an action movie, it hurts. I was at a 2 because it's true. It's just guns. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Do something else besides just, you know? And plus they miss a lot. That scene where him and the girl are running away and these henchmen that are snipers and they keep talking about how great of a shot they are. And all they're doing is hitting the rocks. They didn't hit them one time. And I was like, this is a letdown. So that was kind of whack. The train, got it up to a 3 for me. So I have a 3 because there is shooting and a good amount, you know, there is a bit of action, right? To me too, but the train scene was cool. Drive that train through the building. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is equivalent to a Western explosion. If you don't have a regular explosion, drive a train through a building, I count it as like something other than shooting. So I gave it a 3. There's enough. It's fine. But I'm not memorable by any means.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy with the action in this movie. I was just like, okay. I mean, it's a Western, so I'm not thinking it's going to be modern, you know, squibs and all that crap. And I was a little shocked because I was like, oh, man, this is not as good as what I thought. My favorite scene is when he drove the train into it because I didn't think it was going to, the tracks were on the damn building. So I was like, what the hell? There? Yeah, I was like, whoa. Yeah, so I was like, oh, righty. But he crashed in and he's shooting. And I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty badass. I gave it a 3. And the only reason I gave it a 3 wasn't for the train, because I thought the train scene was cool. Is when he hit the dude with the water jug. And he's like,
he's like setting it up for like 5 minutes. Like,
and I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, this dude cannot feel this big heavy thing over him. Like, I would have been like, what the hell is that?
Should make a sound.
And he hits him and he crashes. I said, you know what? That's a 3 right there. I mean, that's creative to get out of the thing. I mean, the guy could have. What kills me is that he had that little machine gun. And the reason why they have those handles is for him to shoot steady. And I'm like, he could have knocked out all those guys from the tower with that gun he had. But it was kind of funny because when he was shooting, he didn't know what direction it was going. He's like, and that little cartridge like this shot like 30 rounds. Yeah. So I thought it was funny. But at the end of the day, the action here is not spectacular action, not monumental. Like I said, it's like the cinematic that you look and you go, wow. Doesn't have it here. Like I said, the most memorable action in this movie is the train going through the building because I thought it was hilarious. But other than that, yeah, I don't think it was crazy. But I gave it a 3. I thought it was good action in this film. I don't think it was like 4 or 5 action. Okay, storyline. What we got here for storylines, Nate? What you got?
Okay, I think it's fine. I think it's pretty good. Like I said, I like the Louis Chama character. I like his motivations. I wish they focused more on him. Like, you know, Scott said Robert Duvall is underused, and I would agree. I think John Saxon's even more underused. Dude's not even on screen for like 45 minutes. He's up in the mountains doing nothing. So it's like, man, what it could have been, even if you use all 3, more of a dynamic between them. So like, I think the bones are there for like a really good movie. What we got ultimately, like Elmore Leonard wrote a good script, not a great script in my opinion. It is funnier than I thought. Like I don't even remember. I laughed quite a bit. So, you know, that added a little flavor to it. Like, yeah, it's dry humor, but it's still pretty funny. But a lot of missed opportunities. The way the guy dies, I agree. They build up this thing between Joe Kidd and that Lamar guy. and they're building it up like they're going to have some kind of showdown. And then he just opens the floor and the dude falls in. He's dead. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, that's what I was waiting for all this time.
He didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. And so like that was a letdown. Again, underutilized characters. Ultimately, I gave it a 3. I think it's fine because I was intrigued. I was never like bored or anything like that, which is a plus, but could have been better.
All right, Scott, what you got?
I fully agree with Nate. I gave it a 3. The story's nothing crazy, but it's short, simple, and sweet. And you get a nice little twist in there where you think Chama's the bad guy, and then they switch it to Robert Duvall. So, I mean, just a 3. It's good.
Yeah, I agree. I gave it a 3 too. The story could have been, it's a good story. It's a very good story. I just think there's certain things they could have rewrote to make it a little bit better, add more seasoning to it. I agree with Nate. Instead of having Robert Duvall's character, the bad guy should have been Chama versus Joe Kidd in this sense, but they decided not to go with that. But it needed more. It just needed something else. I mean, it's a good story. It's not a boring story. I was really into it. There's some Western movies, and I sat through horrible Arrow volumes of Westerns. Mm-hmm. And Scott knows which ones I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. This one is actually really decent. I think it's good. I'm not decent. These are the wrong word. It's a good story. Mm-hmm. Could have been better with more stuff added to it and taken out. But 3 across the board here. All right, guys. Let's go, Scott. Bring it home. Overall,
it's a 5 for me. I would say this movie is, before I say it's a Western, I'd say it's a Clint Eastwood movie. Because that's the main attraction. That's what everybody's here for. I didn't, if somebody else was in the role, I don't think this movie would have worked out as well as it did. So it's a 5 for me. I love seeing Clint Eastwood in the movie, just outsmarting everybody, screwing with that guy Lamar. That's like my favorite part of the movie is the tension between the two of them. Also, one last thing, that gun that guy has, that's the gun that they used based on Han Solo's gun that they built off of.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The Mauser, that's Han Solo's gun. But yeah, it's a 5 for me overall. I really enjoy this movie. It's short, simple, and sweet, and it's an easy movie to just put on and watch every once in a while. So
wow, all right, we got a 5. Can you beat that?
What? Scott said, nope. Scott said I was going to be surprised with his villain score. I'm surprised by his overall more. I gave it a 3. I think it's okay. It's fine. Like, will I watch this again? I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, I don't see me ever being like, I feel like watching Joe Kidd. You know what I mean? It didn't move me in any way. It's well made, good direction. Again, score good actors. John Saxon, Clint Eastwood, Robert Duvall, great. But at the end of the day, it feels minor. You know what I mean? Like in the filmography of Clint Eastwood, this feels minor to me. Where I feel like even some of the ones I have seen, I haven't seen them all, of course, but the ones I have seen all feel more important or more memorable,
impactful.
Yeah. This feels like a B movie for Clint Eastwood. So for me, I gave it a 3. I think it's fine. I think it's good. And that's it.
I'm shocked I'm going to say this, but I gave it a 3.
Ooh.
I think it's a good movie. And my problem is that I think it's the story and certain characters just don't like the way they wrote those stories for those characters. And while it's not a boring movie, I enjoyed it. And I am going to buy it, the Kino Lorber version of the film. Because the original, I think that one has a better transfer, they said, over the original. So I was like, okay, but I'm definitely going to pick it up. Like I said, I like Western, so it's not like I don't. My thing is, it's just missing something. But watching it, I could put it on again. And it's not like I can't. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Clint Eastwood it's crazy. Like, we don't have stars that do genre movies that they're just attached to. Like, we don't have that no more in this modern decade that we live in. Like John Wayne, Western. Clint Eastwood, Western. Stallone, action. Arnold, action. Modern, who the hell? We don't know. There's Joe Smo all over the place. New faces. So it's cool seeing Clint Eastwood on screen. So I enjoyed this. I thought it was a good film. Could have been better in my eyes. So I gave it a 3. All right, total points across the board. Scott, you're kicking it off. What is your total points?
I have a 19.5 out of 25.
Oh, all right, Nate, what you got?
17 out of 25.
You already know when you're in the Action Movie Guys podcast, when the two hosts has the same numbers. I have a 17 out of a 25. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know.
It's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's good. It's just not great. And I wouldn't watch it again.
This movie is like, you know how there's all the action movie guys like Arnold, Bruce Willis, they all have those like random movies in between their impactful filmography where it's just made because they're
The Sixth Day.
This is exactly like Collateral Damage or something like this is that for Clint Eastwood.
Collateral Damage, pretty good.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I
agree.
This is his filler Western movies.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
It's not the spaghetti. It's just the spaghetti without the sauce.
Or Unforgiven. Exactly. You know? This is a filler episode of a TV season, and that season is the Clint Eastwood movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
No, it works that way. All right, guys, there you guys have it. That is our thoughts on Joe Kidd from 1972. Nate, take it away. What is up next on the podcast?
All right. Well, coming up next, we're going back to The Man with No Name. I broke him up. So we're going to be doing For a Few Dollars More, which I've never seen. This will be a first time watch for me. Never seen it. Literally only seen Fistful of Dollars and Good, Bad, and the Ugly. So never got around to watching this middle one. Looking forward to it. Have no idea. I don't even know what it's about. I don't know nothing. So there's a blind watch for me. And of course, not for you guys. But yes, that's what we got coming up next week.
Fun fact, a few dollars more. Fun fact, my uncle's in the movie.
Oh,
what?
Yeah, Lee Van Cleef.
I was gonna say my uncle's actually in some movies that we've talked about before.
Oh yeah,
Remember
your uncle,
Vampires? He was in John Carpenter's Vampires. That was like probably the most popular. But I thought
We
your real
gotta
uncle's
do-
gonna be in.
Lee Van Cleef. You know what's funny? We're gonna have to do an episode of A&G podcast dedicated to your uncle. All
Yes,
movies
the
your uncle's
Gregory
in.
Sierra special. We'll do John Carpenter's Vampires, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, two episodes of Sanford and Son, and
Star Trek.
and an episode of Barney Miller.
All right, guys, there you guys have it. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Action Movie Guys podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Geeks and Flicks, for reviews, unboxings, and more. You can also follow us on Instagram at Geeks and Flicks, and make sure to follow the podcast on your favorite platforms so you never miss an episode. Till then, be awesome to each other and geek out.